What's going on, guys? MMA Professor back here after a banner fucking weekend for Wisconsin sports. Brewers win on Saturday. Badgers destroy Nebraska on Saturday. Packers win. Admittedly, don't really care that much about it. And Brewers win on Sunday. Brewers, it's baseball season. Hashtag. So here we go. UFC 136. Off the top of my head, didn't do any research on this whatsoever. Haven't had the time. So, we'll see what happens. UFC on Versus. I was so-so on my picks. Also, had no time to do it. Steve Cantwell. What a miraculous... Wait, miraculous isn't the word. Drop. Yeah, it's not miraculous whatsoever. He's the first fight of the night after being the WEC 205-pound champion, dropping to 185, fighting Mike Macenzio. Macenzio, wrestler, grappler, okay, did fairly well, fought at 205 against Chosinski in his last fight. He looked okay, coming off a bad layoff. It was just more about Christoph looking terrible. So anyways, on paper, Cantwell should win this fight, but everybody touted him as like a prospect and blah, blah, blah. He's still fairly young, well-rounded, good wrestling, good striking, power, good jiu-jitsu. Somehow, mentally, hasn't put it together. He should win this fight. How's he going to do it? I think he wins by TKO sometime in the fight before the final horn sounds. How about that for prediction? He wins sometime before the 3 rounds are over. Eric Schaefer against Aaron Simpson. Aaron Simpson would be a great prospect if he wasn't 37. So, he's a great wrestler. Good power in his hands. Doesn't have the diversity in his training. Eric Schaefer dropping to 185. If you know me, you know who I'm going to pick. Eric Schaefer by submission. I don't think Simpson's submission defense has been tested by anybody so far. And even if Red has struggled against wrestlers, 185, he's quicker. He's back. Schaefer, submission, again, probably about second round. Darren Elkins again, Tiatran Zhang. Yeah, Darren Elkins is going to lose this by guillotine choke. Joey Beltran against Stipe. Not even going to try. Not even going to try. He's apparently a Crow Cop, you know, everybody hyping him up. He wears the Crow Cop shorts. He wears the blah, blah, blah. Fine. And we'll see how he looks in his first UFC fight. I'm going to pick him to win by maybe decision. Joey Beltran's pretty tough. So, you know, I mean, he's won fights by leg kicks. I don't know how good his striking is. Okay, let's put it that way. Is he Crow Cop in his prime? Not even fucking close. Not even close. But is he good enough? Does he have the reach? Yes. Does he have good enough strike? Yeah, probably. Beltran doesn't like to take fights to the ground, so he's probably going to win the fight by decision. Prelims on Spike. Anthony Pettis against Jeremy Stephens. Anthony Pettis all day, every day. Love Jeremy Stephens. Actually, this isn't a hometown advantage thing. This is a straight stylistic matchup thing. Pettis is a more technical striker. He uses his range better. He's a good defensive wrestler. He's a good offensive wrestler, as you saw in the Shane Roller fight. Yeah. Okay. You're going to give me shit about it. I know. Because Clay Guida took him down. Okay, fine. Jeremy Stephens likes to stand and trade in the pocket. That's not going to happen. And even if Stevens is the better offensive wrestler, which I don't think is the case. Anthony Pettis has the more diverse ground game. He's better in the clinch. He's basically better everywhere except for one-shot KO power with the hands, which Jeremy Stevens holds over him. I don't think he has one-shot KO power with his hands. With everything else he does, but Anthony Pettis by late submission or TKO after wearing out Jeremy Stevens. Damian Maia against Jorge Santiago. Smart pick is Damian Maia in this one. Improving with his boxing, improving with pretty much everything striking-wise. Clearly the better grappler. Love Jorge Santiago, puts on amazing fights all the time. He's just gets bad matchups in the UFC, and also his chin is suspect. Damian Maia is not going to be able to exploit that, I don't think. But with his improving stand-up, who knows, could get his first TKO. But I'm going to go with Damian Maia by decision in this one. I think he's going to win the clinch battles. I think Maia knows what he's going to get with Santiago. And sans Santiago throwing something ridiculous like he typically finishes fights with, flying knee or something crazy, we're going to go Damian Maia by decision. Main card on pay-per-view, the rematch, Leonard Garcia, Nam Phan, and Nam Phan is going to win it, just like he won the first fucking fight, because judges are stupid as shit, and they don't understand that, you throw, just looping punches, This is Leonard Garcia, overhand right. Overhand right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that doesn't win you a fight. Judges are stupid, and refs are stupid, and pretty much everybody is stupid in MMA. So Nam Phan is going to win this fight, and he's going to finish it, and just to prove that all the judges suck. Leonard Garcia is who he is. Nam Phan beat him the first time, and Nam Phan is improving all the time, and Garcia just is a fucking stupid fighter. He's dumb. I hate his fighting. I absolutely do despise him as a fighter. Despise him. He's trash as a fighter. Don't like him whatsoever. That was harsh. Let's move on. Melvin Guillard against Joe Lauzon. Even though Guillard should probably be moving up the ladder after his destruction in his last fight, Lauzon's a tough test for him because Lauzon has been improving with his hands, and jiu-jitsu defensive liability has always been Guillard's game. He doesn't know how to defend at all. And in the first round, both of these guys are dangerous, so that makes for a hell of a fight. I'm going to pick Guillard by TKO in the second, because I think he's going to try, he's improved enough that he can defensively avoid Lauzon's attempts on the feet, and also, jiu-jitsu-wise, he'll come out, still be explosive, and Lauzon fades in the second. Guillard also has a tendency to do so, but Guillard, TKO. I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's improved where he needs to improve. Training at Jackson's. Chael Sonnen against Brian Stann. This is a tough fight because Brian Stann improves all the time. Chael Sonnen is not in his prime. And how do I figure what a way to say this? Chael Sonnen has never been in his prime. Chael Sonnen is a good wrestler. He's good at what he does. And even in the Anderson Silva fight, oh my god, he tagged him with so many shots. He's a great boxer. Brian Stann is a better technical striker, as is Anderson Silva, but I'm going to go with Anderson Silva was really, really, really fucked up in that fight and still managed to pull out the win. Brian Stann isn't a straight submission guy. Chael Sonnen is a great chin. I'm going to go with Brian Stann in this one. That's That's an upset pick slightly, but the smart pick would be Chael Sonnen by unanimous decision. But Brian Stann is so technically proficient on the feet and getting better where he's training, and he's always learning. Chael Sonnen is who he's always been, and you'll find that the case. And I've said that before, even in this video, I've said it. But Brian Stann's improved, and he improves leaps and bounds every time you see him. And at 185, he's a killer. Great power. Chael Sonnen's been hit a lot. And as long as Brian Stann can avoid the takedown, if his sprawl is improved that much, I think he's going to finish Chael Sonnen by strikes. So I'm going to say Brian Stann, second round TKO. I think he's going to frustrate Chael Sonnen, stay outside the pocket, land leg kicks, land not too many, should be the game plan, and risk getting taken down. But with the hands, he's better. He has more power. I think he's going to hurt Sonnen early and have Sonnen moving backwards rather than moving forwards, which Sonnen always does all the time, and that's why he gets so many takedowns, is because he just pushes forward constantly. He's not threatened by submissions and blah, blah, blah. Could Stan get the submission? Not likely. If he hurts him, maybe, but I'm going to go with Brian Stann by stoppage in the second round. That's a crazy pick. Jose Aldo against Kenny Florian. Florian going down to 145 to win a championship. Guess what, Kenny? You're a smart guy. You're a good fighter. But again, the physical capabilities of the champion are going to thwart you again. It's going to happen. Jose Aldo is better at pretty much everything. He's going to keep the fight on the feet. He's more explosive than you. He hits harder. You are going to have the most masterful game plan. And again, can you cut him with elbows? Sure. Is that your game plan? Because if that is, you're going to be in for a bad night. That's not going to work well for you. Both guys, hard cut for him, as documented in the last couple of days, like a couple articles on it. But Jose Aldo, it's a hard cut for him to make 145, as is it for Florian. But Jose Aldo, more explosive, more dynamic on the feet. Wrestling is about equal, and Jose Aldo on the ground, who knows? Because he got, whatever. Jose Aldo, we're going to go UD. Although it's possible he could finish Florian. Florian has been finished before by strikes. And it's very possible given Jose Aldo's explosive power. But Jose Aldo's, it's just the way it is. Sorry, Kenny. You're not going to ever win a championship in the UFC. Frankie Edgar against Gray Maynard. There is so much talent at 155 that I know this fight needed to happen because of, the draw that happened in their first fight. But whoever wins this fight is in, 155 is stacked, especially considering Gilbert Melendez is now talked about coming to the UFC. 155 is freaking ridiculous. It's ridiculous right now. And Frankie Edgar is going to win this fight, I think. I think he's quicker. I think his camp is going to be centered around don't get punched in the face really hard. Okay? Yeah. Okay, that should be pretty simple enough. I think he's quicker. I think he's got the better boxing. Gray Maynard obviously has the power. Even in the first fight, he got rocked and came back and still took Gray Maynard down. I think he's got the better cardio. Gray Maynard's a good fighter. He just... Frankie Edgar, UD, all day, every day. And he's gonna have problems with everybody else that's coming up because it's. I know he's a well-rounded fighter, but it's that's in my mind. I'm looking to other fights past this, and like it's gonna be like 205 where nobody really can hang on to the belt except for John Jones. But there's no John Jones in 155. There's so much talent at 155. It's going to be ridiculous. So, Frankie Edgar, unanimous decision. Those are my picks. UFC 136. Edgar Maynard 3. Enjoy the fights, guys. Stay metal.